What if I told you that aging is a lie? Not a gentle, natural process, but a deception, a program, a piece of malicious code installed so deep within your consciousness that you mistake it for reality. What if every wrinkle, every gray hair, every moment of lost vitality isn't an inevitability, but a surrender, a symptom of a forgotten truth? Ancient legends, whispered from the dawn of civilization, speak of a manual, not a book of paper and ink, but a blueprint for the human machine, a set of instructions for infinite regeneration. This knowledge was allegedly recorded by a being known as Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, the scribe of the universe, the Atlantean priest-king who, according to myth, transcended death itself. They say he encoded this knowledge in the very fabric of reality, in the laws of nature, and in a text so profound, so powerful, it was deemed forbidden, the Emerald Tablets. But the most practical part, the direct dialogue on how to apply this code to the human body, was considered lost, scattered, buried by millennia of dogma, fear, and deliberate suppression. Until now. This is not a history lesson. This is a reconstruction, a deciphering. For millennia, mystics, alchemists, and renegade scientists have been finding the scattered pieces of this lost dialogue. They found them hidden in Hermetic principles. They saw them reflected in the new sciences of quantum physics and epigenetics. They felt them beating in the rhythm of their own hearts. Tonight, we assemble those pieces. We will reconstruct Thoth's lost dialogue, the forbidden code that proves the human body was never designed to decay. It was designed to regenerate. This journey requires you to empty your cup, to question the most fundamental truth you've been taught, that your time is limited. The dialogue is built on 4 great commandments, 4 keys to unlock the operating system of your biology. Are you ready to uninstall the program? Are you ready to remember who you were before you were told who to be? Then let us begin. To understand the dialogue, we must first understand the prison. The program we call aging is not a physical law like gravity. It is a perceptual law. It is a belief system given physical form. From the moment you are born, you are told a story, the story of a one-way street: birth, growth, decay, death. You see it in your parents. You are taught it in school. You see it reflected in every face around you. Yourselves, the infinitely intelligent audience to the theater of your mind, hear this story, and they begin to obey. The great lie is that your genes are your destiny. The belief that your DNA is a fixed blueprint that dictates you will get sick, you will grow weak, you will decay, just as your ancestors did. But the keepers of the ancient wisdom, the Hermeticists, the Gnostics, the original alchemists, knew this was false. The first principle of the universe, as Thoth recorded, is The all is mind. The universe is mental. This isn't poetry. It is physics. In the 20th century, a renegade cell biologist named Dr. Bruce Lipton confirmed this ancient truth. His research proved that it is not the nucleus, the brain of the cell, that controls its expression. It is the cell's membrane, its skin. The membrane reads the environment. It perceives the world outside the cell and sends a signal to the genes telling them which blueprint to read. You are not a single entity. You are a community of 50 trillion intelligent cells, and your mind, your perception, your beliefs, your thoughts is the environment they are reading. If your mind is set free with the belief in decay, what signal do you think your 50 trillion cells are receiving? You are literally commanding your body to age. You are the author of the program. This is the great tragedy. We have been handed the most sophisticated, self-repairing, regenerative biological technology in the known universe, and we use it to run software of limitation and death. Thoth knew this. The lost dialogue is not about finding a magical elixir to drink. It is about becoming the alchemist. It is about learning to change the environment of your cells by changing the signal you send them. The dialogue is a journey back to the source code. It begins with the most volatile, most powerful, and most misunderstood force in your possession, the first commandment. The force that Thoth taught was the true bridge between the non-physical and the physical, the power that turns thought into matter. We must begin by mastering the alchemical fire. We must master our own vibration. Look at the world around you. The chaos, the fear, the constant low-level hum of anxiety, the 24-hour use cycle, the deadlines, the digital noise. This is not just life. This is a frequency, a vibration of survival, and you are marinating in it. The sample script you saw earlier called this the invisible poison. It is the most accurate description ever uttered. This poison is not sugar, it is not fat. It is fear. It is resentment. It is chronic, unresolved anger. It is the vibration of a life lived in defense. These are not just feelings. They are biochemical realities. They are complex instructions you are giving to your body. Let us reconstruct the dialogue. What did Thoth understand about this poison? The Hermetic teachings state, as within, so without. This is the key. The alchemists of old were not obsessed with turning physical lead into physical gold. That was a metaphor, a blind for the uninitiated. The true alchemy was internal. The lead was the dense, heavy, low-frequency emotions, fear, shame, guilt, anger. The gold was the high-frequency state of creation, love, gratitude, peace, bliss. The alchemical process was the transmutation of this emotional lead into spiritual gold. Why? Because they knew that a body vibrating at the frequency of fear cannot regenerate. It can only survive. When your brain perceives a threat, real or imagined, a saber-toothed tiger or an angry email from your boss, the body doesn't know the difference. It floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. This is the fight or flight response. It's a brilliant short-term survival mechanism. Blood is shunted from your organs to your limbs. Your immune system is suppressed. Your digestion is halted. And, most importantly, your regeneration and repair systems are shut down completely. It's all hands on deck to survive the next 5 minutes. The problem is, in our modern world, the tiger never leaves. The threat is constant. We live in a state of chronic, low-grade survival. And a body in survival mode does not have the energy or the resources to repair a damaged telomere. It doesn't have time to seek out and destroy a cancerous cell. It doesn't have the bandwidth to rebuild new, healthy tissue. A body in survival mode ages rapidly. This is the poison. This is the lead. You are literally ordering your body to sacrifice its long-term health for short-term survival every single day. The modern science of psychoneuroimmunology is the rediscovery of this alchemical law. Scientists can now measure with terrifying precision how a negative thought creates a specific neuropeptide, a chemical messenger that locks into your cells and changes their behavior. Dr. Bruce Lipton calls it the chemistry of belief. If you believe the world is a dangerous place, you will create a body that is constantly defended, inflamed, and sick. Your belief becomes your biology. So how do we stop it? How do we perform the great work of the alchemists? The dialogue provides the tool, the bellows for the alchemical fire. It is the one system in your body that is both autonomic and conscious, the one bridge between your animal mind and your divine mind, your breath. You have been breathing on autopilot your entire life. You have been breathing in survival, short, shallow chest breaths. This is the breath of fear. It is a constant signal to your nervous system that the tiger is still there. The first commandment of the dialogue is to reclaim this power, to breathe consciously, slowly, deeply, from the diaphragm. When you do this, you are sending a new signal. You are manually hacking your own autonomic nervous system. You are activating the vagus nerve, the great conductor of your parasympathetic rest and digest system. With a few simple conscious breaths, you are telling your 50 trillion cells the danger has passed, it is safe. Shut down the survival protocols. It is time to rest. It is time to repair. This is the first step in transmutation. You are not fighting the fear. You are not suppressing the anger. You are observing it, and you are changing the body's response to it through the breath. You are using the breath to transmute the leaden energy of fear into the golden, coherent frequency of calm. This is not meditation for relaxation. This is alchemy for regeneration. The first commandment is mastery of the self, to stop being a victim of your own emotional reactions and to become the conscious conductor of your internal orchestra. You have quieted the inner storm. You have stopped poisoning yourself from within. You have taken the first, most critical step. Now, your body is ready for the second commandment. It is ready to recharge its fundamental power source. It is time to understand that you are not a chemical being. You are a being of electricity. We have been taught to think of the body as a bag of chemicals. We measure life in proteins, carbohydrates, and vitamins. This is a primitive, incomplete view. The truth, as the ancients knew, and as 20th century renegades like Luigi Galvani and Robert Becker rediscovered, is that your body is electrical. Life is not chemistry. Life is the spark that animates the chemistry. Your brain processes thoughts as microvoltages. Your heart, The most powerful electromagnetic generator in your body beats because of a precise electrical impulse. Your nervous system is a living biological wiring diagram, and every single one of your 50 trillion cells is a tiny wet cell battery. This is the forgotten key. A healthy cell maintains a voltage of approximately negative 70 millivolts. This is its charge, its life force. This electrical potential is what allows the cell to pull in nutrients, expel toxins, and communicate with its neighbors. But what happens when this voltage drops? Dr. Jerry Tennant, a modern pioneer in this new field of bioelectricity, mapped this process. When a cell's voltage drops to negative 50 millivolts, it becomes sick, tired. It cannot function properly. If it drops to negative 30 millivolts, it enters a state of chronic inflammation and dysfunction. And if that voltage drops to zero, that is not just sickness, that is death. Now look again at the process we call aging. It is not just a collection of symptoms, it is a systemic, slow-motion blackout. It is the gradual loss of cellular voltage across the entire body. The question then is not, how do we stop aging? The question is, what is draining our batteries? The answer is our civilized life. We have profoundly, tragically disconnected ourselves from our primary power source. For 99.9% of human history, we were in constant, direct physical contact with the earth. We walked barefoot. We slept on the ground. We were plugged in. The surface of the planet Earth is not just dirt and rock. It is a massive planetary battery holding a constant negative electrical charge. It is an infinite reservoir of free electrons, constantly being replenished by solar winds and lightning strikes. These free electrons are the most potent antioxidants in existence. Throughout the day, your body, through the simple act of living and breathing, and especially through stress, generates free radicals. These are molecules that have lost an electron, and they tear through your body, stealing electrons from healthy cells. This is oxidative stress. This is inflammation. This is what causes aging and disease. For eons, the solution was simple. By touching the earth, we allowed that infinite reservoir of free electrons to flow into our bodies, instantly neutralizing the free radicals before they could do any harm. We were constantly grounded. Then we invented rubber. The rubber-soled shoe, the concrete floor, the high-rise apartment. We have, in just a few generations, completely insulated ourselves from our own planet. We are like a beautiful, complex lamp that is no longer plugged into the wall. We are walking batteries, slowly draining, with no way to recharge. The second commandment of the lost Dialogue of Thoth is to reconnect, to plug your body back into the earth. The ancients called it communing with Gaia. We call it grounding or earthing. It is the act of walking barefoot on grass, on sand, on dirt. It is the simple biological requirement of recharging your 50 trillion cells. When you do this, the effects are not symbolic. They are immediate and profound. The inflammation in your body subsides. Your blood viscosity thins. Your sleep patterns normalize. Your chronic pain begins to fade. Why? Because you are no longer a dying battery. You are recharging. You are allowing the planet's healing energy to flood your system and extinguish the fires of inflammation. The alchemists spoke of the prima materia, the first matter, the force of all things. The earth is that source. You have mastered your inner vibration. You have now reconnected to your outer power source. For most of modern history, we have been taught to fear the sun. We are told it is an enemy, that it causes wrinkles, spots, and cancer. We are told to hide from it, to slather ourselves in chemical screens, to live our lives indoors under the pale dead glow of artificial light. This is the most profound perversion of truth in the human experience. The ancients did not see an enemy, they saw a deity. The Egyptians called it Ra, the Aztecs Huitzilopochtli, the Greeks Helios. They understood that the sun was not just a ball of hot gas. It was the physical source of all life. It was the engine of our reality. The last dialogue of Thoth does not teach us to fear the sun. It teaches us to understand it. You are not just a consumer of organic matter. You are, in essence, a photosynthetic being. Your body is a biological solar panel designed to convert light into life. Think about it. When sunlight hits your skin, your body performs a miracle of alchemy. It synthesizes vitamin D, a molecule so complex and powerful it functions as a master hormone, regulating thousands of genetic functions from your immune system to your mood. But this is just the beginning. The sun's light is not one thing. It is a complex spectrum of information, a diet of frequencies. The light of the morning sun, in the first hours after dawn, is different from the light at midday. It is rich in specific frequencies of red and near-infrared light. This is not just color. This is energy. Modern science has confirmed that this red and infrared light penetrates deep into your tissues. It is absorbed by the mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside every one of your cells. This light acts like a cosmic espresso. It supercharges your mitochondria, prompting them to produce more ATP, the energy currency of your body. It signals your cells to activate repair genes, to reduce inflammation, and to regenerate. 10 minutes of unfiltered, naked-eye exposure to the morning sun, no sunglasses, no windows, is not a quaint ritual. It is a biological command. You are telling your brain, the sun is up, the day has begun. This simple act anchors your entire circadian rhythm, your internal master clock, which in turn governs every hormonal process in your body. You have been taught to start your day with the artificial blue light of a smartphone screen, a frequency that screams midday stress to your brain. The ancients started their day by eating light. They faced the dawn and literally drank in the energy of creation. This practice, often called sun gazing, was one of the most protected secrets of the mystery schools. But light cannot do its regenerative work without its sacred partner, its opposite, the yin to its yang, absolute darkness. The invention of the electric bulb may be one of the greatest blows ever dealt to human longevity. You were designed to spend a third of your life in a darkness so complete it was interrupted only by starlight. It is in this total absence of light that your brain performs its most sacred nightly ritual. Your pineal gland, the small mystical gland in the center of your brain, which ancient philosophers called the seat of the soul, becomes an alchemical factory. It begins to produce melatonin. We think of melatonin as a simple sleep hormone. This is a trivialization. Melatonin is the most potent anti-aging, antioxidant, and anti-cancer molecule your body produces. It is the night's repair crew. It floods your system, scavenging free radicals. It instructs cancer cells to self-destruct. It repairs the mitochondrial DNA that was damaged during the day. It is the elixir of life, produced for free every single night. But it has a switch. The pineal gland is photosensitive. The slightest exposure to light, specifically The blue spectrum light from your phone, your TV, your computer, the LED on your alarm clock is enough to slam the brakes on melatonin production. Sleeping in a room contaminated by artificial light is like trying to perform delicate brain surgery in the middle of a disco. Your body never gets the signal to rest and repair. It never enters the deepest, most regenerative phases of sleep. You wake up tired, unrepaired, and one day older, when you should have woken up one day renewed. The third commandment of the dialogue is to honor the rhythm of the planet, to feed on the morning light, to respect the power of midday, and to embrace the sacred healing void of true darkness. You have quieted your mind. You have charged your battery. You have fueled your cells. Your body is now perfectly tuned, but to what rhythm? This brings us to the final and most profound commandment, the secret that governs all others. You must become the master of the one thing you believe you cannot control. You must learn to bend time. What is time? You think of it as a river flowing inexorably in one direction. You think of it as a predator stealing your youth with every tick of the clock. The days on the calendar, the years on your birthday, these are your masters. This is the final and most powerful layer of the aging program. But the lost dialogue of Thoth reveals the truth. Time, as you perceive it, does not exist. It is a human construct, a social agreement to organize reality. Your biology does not operate by the clock on the wall. Your body does not have a wristwatch. It has an experience meter. It does not count seconds, minutes, and hours. It registers intensity. It registers novelty. It registers emotion. Consider your own life. An entire year of monotonous routine can pass in what feels like the blink of an eye, leaving only a vague trace in your memory. Conversely, a single week of profound new experience, your first love, a trip to a foreign land, can feel like an eternity. It is etched into your memory, rich with texture and detail. Why? Because your brain, when confronted with novelty, is forced to engage. It must write new code, form new neural pathways. It must pay attention. This state of heightened presence, of processing new data, stretches your subjective perception of time. Routine, on the other hand, is the enemy of presence. When your life is the same day after day, your brain goes on autopilot. It no longer needs to record anything new. It runs a script. And when your brain is on autopilot, life accelerates. You feel time slipping through your fingers. Here is the brutal paradox. When your subjective perception of time accelerates, your biological aging also accelerates. Why? Because a life on autopilot is a life in the past. It is a life of stress and unconscious reaction. It is the survival mode we spoke of. The fourth commandment is to stop the clock, to hack your own perception. Tibetan monks and advanced meditators have claimed for centuries that in states of deep consciousness, time stops. This is not a poetic metaphor. It is a biological reality. Neuroscience studies on these monks show that in these deep states, their cellular metabolism actually slows down. Their oxygen consumption decreases. Their heart rate becomes profoundly rhythmic, and, most importantly, The genetic markers for DNA repair and inflammation reduction are activated. Their bodies enter a state of conscious hibernation, a state of deep, profound regeneration. They are not stopping the clock on the wall. They are stopping the biological clock within their own cells, simply by changing their internal state. You have experienced this yourself. You call it being in the zone, or the flow state. Remember the last time you were so completely absorbed in something you love, a creative project, a sport, a deep conversation, that the hours passed like minutes? In that state, the part of your brain responsible for self-criticism and the notion of time, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, goes quiet. Stress disappears. Self-doubt vanishes. You are purely present. Your biology interprets this flow state as the ultimate signal of safety and joy. It understands that you are not in survival. You are in creation. And it switches all available energy from defense to regeneration. The flow state is a literal time machine. It is an anti-aging drug. Children live in a permanent state of flow, which is why they seem to have inexhaustible energy and heal so quickly. Adults live trapped in routine and worry, their clocks accelerating towards a programmed end. The dialogue teaches you to reclaim this, to hunt for novelty, to learn a new instrument, to take a different route to work, to break your routines, to consciously place yourself in states of awe, and to use your breath. Simple practices like fractal breathing, where you inhale, hold, and exhale to a specific rhythmic count, can dramatically alter your brain waves, pulling you out of the chaotic beta wave state of stress and into the calm, present alpha wave state of presence. In doing so, you are actively expanding your sense of the present moment. 1 minute on the clock can feel like 10 minutes of subjective biological time. You are not just relaxing. You are giving your body more time to regenerate within the same chronological minute. You are bending the clock. You have the 4 commandments. The lost dialogue is no longer lost. It is written in your very being. 1. You are the alchemist. You must master your inner vibration, transmuting the lead of fear into the gold of creation. 2. You are the spark. You must recharge your electrical body by grounding yourself to the earth. 3. You are the light. You must feed yourselves with the coded information of the sun and honor the regenerative void of darkness. And 4. You are the master. You must bend the illusion of time by embracing novelty and anchoring yourself in the eternal present. These are not 4 separate tasks. They are one unified act of conscious living. They are the blueprint for operating your human vehicle as its creators intended. Know ye, O man, that thou art complex, a being of earth and of fire. Know ye that thy body is a temple, the temple of the life force that animates thee all. You are not born to decay. You are not fashioned for the grave. You are a machine of light, a vessel of vibration, designed to renew itself from the very fabric of the cosmos. You have believed the lies of your short life. You have forgotten the law of your long origin. You are not the victim of your genes. You are the author of their expression. You are not the slave of time. You are the consciousness that receives it. You are not separate from the world. You are the intelligence through which it knows itself. Stop poisoning your temple with fear. Plug your temple into the earth. Fuel your temple with the sun and free your temple from the illusion of the clock. Do this, and the program of decay shall be uninstalled. Do this, and you will remember what it feels like to be infinite. The knowledge is now yours. The last dialogue has been spoken. But knowledge by itself is inert. Application is power. The great separation is not between you and God. It is between what you know and what you do. The choice was never Thoth's. It has always been and will always be yours. You can leave this video and return to the program. You can continue to believe the story of decay. Or you can begin this very second with a single conscious breath and change the code. Every great transformation begins with a declaration, an act of power. If you have felt the truth in this reconstructed dialogue, if you are ready to uninstall the program of aging, then seal your commitment now. Go to the comments below and declare your new truth for the universe to witness. Write the words, "I am the master of my own code." By writing it, you make it real. By sharing it, you anchor this new reality. Your journey has begun.